a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines, a member of Rainbow family that advocates equal rights, what is your stand in 1987 Constitution? It should be amended, retained, or replaced by another form of government. Again, as a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines and a member of Rainbow family that advocates equal rights, what is your stand in 1987 Constitution? Should it be amended, retained, or replaced by another form of government?
Kahit magtanggal ka ng hindi talaga.
Isa lamang po ang aking masasabi. Bilang LGBTQIA+, sa bansang Pilipinas, ang aming hiling lamang po ay magkaroon tayo ng payapa, pantay-pantay na karapatan, at walang pagdidiscrimination sa aming mga LGBT. Yun lamang po at maraming.
Okay, thank you so much, candidate number 1. Your paragraph. Here's your question. Would you live in a world without discrimination or a government without corruption? Again, would you live in a world without discrimination or a government without corruption?
Okay. Nais ko pong tumira sa mundo na walang diskriminasyon. Dahil sapagkat hindi maaalis sa anumang bansa ang corruption. Huwag po natin itong ikagalit sa ating mga politician, pero hindi po ito nawawala. Ang corruption, never po nawala ito sa anumang bansa. Kaya nga naisip ko na lang pong tumira sa isang bansang walang diskriminasyon upang lahat ay pagmamahalan lamang ang manaig sa bawat isa sa atin.
So at this point, here is your question. I'll be repeating twice, okay? So how do you influence people to live a healthy life? Again, how do you influence people to live a healthy life?
All of the above.
Let's go!
Well, once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How can I convince everybody or other people to have like a healthy life? You know what, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are facing pandemic at marami sa atin ang naapektuhan, hindi lang sa buhay natin or pang-araw-araw natin pamumuhay. We also, other people also affected by their mental health. You know what, just to share the story of my life, 2 years ago, the pandemic hit the Philippines, not only the Philippines, but the whole world. Why, you know, ladies and gentlemen, during that time, that's the darkest days of my life. I was diagnosed clinically depression during this pandemic. And I can say, based on my experience, based in my life, na hindi naging healthy ang aking pamumuhay and also my mental health. That's why I really want to convince other people to have a mental health, which is a healthy mental health. Why do I say so? Dahil ang utak natin ang dumidikta kung ano ang gagawin natin sa araw-araw. Para tayo ay mabuhay ng mapayapa dito sa ating ibabaw na ginagalawan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? By the help of my parents, by the help of my family and relatives, and also my loved ones, I was able to wake up on that nightmare. And now I'm here standing in front of you. I'm still living in this world. And I believe na hindi lang natatapos ang buhay sa isang depresyon kung ano man ang nararanasan mo. Because always remember, sabi nga sa isang kanta, after the rainbow, after the rain, there's always a rainbow. And that will be all. Thank you and good evening.
As an LGBT member, how can you resolve the issue of war between two countries? Okay? Again, as an LGBT member, how can you resolve the issue of war between two countries?
Alright, to be very honest with each and every one of you tonight, that this is one of the most difficult questions I have ever encountered venturing the world of pageantry. But since I am being put on the spot, allow me to simply express my very own thoughts. As a part of the LGBTQI community, how would I able to help or resolve war between two different countries? As simple as this. I myself is always experiencing discrimination, insult, and criticism every single day of my life. And I believe that the main reason why I am experiencing such things because of what we called misunderstanding. Because of communication. Therefore, as a part of the LGBTQI community, if I will be able to showcase to leader the importance of good communication, therefore, they will be able to consider it as a key for them to definitely think what they can do for their own country, for us to not have war, and for them to protect their people without having a war. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, candidate number. Okay, guys, and here's your question. As an advocate of awareness, how could a rainbow gives mitigation and adaptation to a hazard?
To a
Okay.
what?
Again, as an advocate of awareness, how could a rainbow gives mitigation and adaptation to a hazard?
I'm quite confused because there are many words being used. Hazard, adaptation, medication, awareness. Let's start first from how could I promote or how could I help awareness. Okay. Awareness is, of course, the knowledge that you know you are fighting for. Since, obviously, there were no specific thing, what kind of awareness? So do I have to go with the LGBTQIA plus equality awareness? Yes. So with that, I should say, from that itself, alone, I myself, is a product of somebody who doesn't like being gay. Forgive me, my dad. He passed away 2019. And I would like to share this story. And most of you, if you really knew me and had supported me with all humility, you knew this, that we're 11 in the family. I'm second from the oldest. My father is a retired soldier. He doesn't like a gay because he always say, you are a disgrace, my God. Ang malas-malas mo, bakla ka. So, what I've been into my life, I've been joining pageant because that was my compassion. What was my awareness? There is nothing wrong with being a gay. What is wrong is the guidance of the parents who believe that there's nothing, that you are somebody who are on the negative side and you cannot help. But I am standing here in front of you here tonight, proving that I am 47 years old already, almost 3 decades in the pageantry. 8 of my younger brothers and sisters graduated in college because of me joining pageantry. That alone, how I can help medication. Okay, I'll try to imply it, medication on the hazard. Meaning to say, I would say on that idiomatic expression, it should be hypothetically hazard with the negativity of the people. So I'd like to imply with that. Ladies and gentlemen, a personality is something that you do not ask for. It is emotionally what you felt for all through your life, and nobody dictates for that. You just want to be true and be authentic to yourself. And because of me standing with many pageants, I believe I have this power. As what they say, it's cliche may sound, that this platform is a powerful tool to encourage everyone. Kaya patuloy akong sumasali sa mga contest, kahit sinasabi, mataba, matanda, wala na yan, hindi na nagsawa kaka-contest. No, it's because hanggang kinakaya ko pa ang rayong at arthritis ko, wala akong pakialam dahil marami akong ibigay and knowledge to everyone. From that itself, we can reinvent. We can be able to save all the people that it is nothing. There's nothing wrong with all of us. All of us have been fighting. And another one, I'd like also to inculcate this, especially the organizer. Wag na wag. Kasi dyan tayo nagkakaroon na walang bilib ang mga tao sa atin. We must show to the people, especially the Soji Bill, bakit hindi yan na isa sa batas, it's because inside the LGBTQ community, nandun mismo ang siraan, hilakan, inggitan, at lahat-lahat ng mga hindi magandang nangyayari. So let us just prove it right now that as we are aware of that, as I have shared my story, I want to tell everyone that I am but just a gay or a transgender, call it whatever label you want. But I'd like to say, I'm encouraging you everyone, that we are a solution, a medication to any hazardous inclination of your mind. Just open your heart and embrace it, because all of us are human, ready to love. And remember, from being a victim, I rise up to be victorious. Thank you.
If you are about to defend the thesis entitled "The Rainbow Family, an Ethnography of Spiritual Postmodernism," how do you define a rainbow and explain your stand as a part of a rainbow family? Again, if you are about to defend the thesis entitled "The Rainbow Family, an ethnography of spiritual postmodernism," how do you defend a rainbow and explain your stand as part of the rainbow family?
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, panel board of judges, I am here standing in front of you for the LGBT community. A woman who fighting for our rights, and I'm also here for those persons who enjoy fighting rights to others to enjoy. If I'm going to defend the rainbow, then that would be there's a beauty in diversity. Why? It is simply because we LGBT, we rainbow people, we are criticized by other people. Yes, this is true, because we are the center of discrimination. Many people criticize us because of our gender identity. But one thing is for sure, there is always think and look from the beauty of diversity. Because always remember, even though you are lesbian, gays, bisexual, transgender, queers, or intersex, or even you're a straight man and straight woman, you are perfect, not just only in the eye of other people, but also in the eye of our God Almighty. Therefore, we must need to be proud to who we are and what we have, because at the end of the day, beauty has no in diversity. Thank you.
Okay, so here's your question. What steps or measures need to be taken to eradicate poverty? Again, what steps or measures need to be taken to eradicate poverty?
Thank you so much. Such a wonderful question. Well, poverty is a third world problem, and we are a third world country. The reason why we are very focused on eradicating poverty, corruption, and all of the negative things that cause people to suffer more. I truly feel that education is the key for us to be able to get out of whatever situation that we are in. Remember what happened in Korea? They are successful right now because they focused on their education. Education is in the Philippines is a privilege. It's not a right. I am very lucky to be able to go to wonderful universities. I am a salista and I'm very grateful, but even though that I went to such an expensive school, I still feel empathetic for the people. Just like when I went to different places this year, I've seen corruption, I've seen problematic issues in our country. I hope that we will be able to achieve whatever we want in life. And I hope that our leaders are going to do something about it so that we can be able to study and it's going to be alright. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
As an LGBT advocate, what salient points of the SOGI bill needs revision and amendments?
Pamahirap yun. So, good evening everyone. The question is quite confusing. But always remember that a very intelligent person would not pretend that he or she knows everything under the sun. So it is better to answer coming from your heart, facts and reality, because I believe that would be the best answer that I could give. Going back to the thought of the question, Soji Bill. Let me clarify first everything. People will definitely understand na lagi nilang itinatatak sa kanilang isipan na ang Soji Bill po ay para sa mga miyembro lamang ng LGBTQIA+ community. No, it is not. It is an anti-discrimination bill for each and every single individual here in our society. So I think, for me, that question really touches my heart because I believe that Soji Bill, for me, ay hindi pa dapat ipatupad para sa ating lahat. Why do I say so? How would you able to ask the protection from the government if we LGBT is keep fighting with each other? How can we ask the protection from the government if people to people is quarreling and discriminating and humiliating one another? Because I believe that we are discriminated because of our own action. So for me, in that particular question, I will definitely not revise or amend anything, but I will definitely add something on it. Because if you would going to revise this what we call Soji Bill or amend this what we call Soji Bill, you will going to revise it and review it from the start. And that Soji Bill, as far as I'm concerned, as I read that particular Soji Bill, that is perfect for each and every one of us. But I believe I will definitely add something on it. And that is what we call anti-discrimination for those people suffering from disability in our society. Why do I say so? Soji Bill means sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. Whether you are a man, whether you are a woman, as long as you're breathing the same air and living in this world, you are entitled enough to get your own rights and experience the equality of each and every single individual here in our community. Kasi isipin natin mabuti, ang Soji Bill, ipinapatupad yan at hinihiling natin lahat para protektahan tayo ng batas. Ngunit, alam naman po natin sa mga hindi nakakaalam nito, ang Soji Bill po ay hindi para sa mga bakla lang. Ito po ay para sa lahat ng tao, whatever gender it may be. So kung uulitin ko po sa review mula sa simula, ang mga ginawa ng ating mambabatas regarding this what we call law for LGBT, I'm sorry, panel board of judges, but I will not going to revise or amend anything, but I will going to add on it. Dahil naniniwala po ako, mga kaibigan, ang nag-isip ng Soji Bill o ng batas na yan ay may matatalinong isipan na kung saan pinapatupad po nila ang pagpoprotekta sa bawat mamamayang Pilipino. And one thing is for sure, this Soji Bill, hindi na natin ito kailangang patupad o hilingin pa sa gobyerno. Because if the government will definitely see the unity and cooperation of each and every single individual, ibibigay at ibibigay ng gobyerno kung ano man ang hilingin protection ng bawat isa. Always remember the Latin word. Say my pal, but myself, the Juito John. Gracias, Pepto de Cuelo, Fernando Filip. Or whatever discrimination, humiliation that people will throw you, throw them love and believe in yourself. That is what is most important. Thank you.
As an LGBT member, what can you offer in our society in spite of many social issues? Again, as an LGBT member, what can you offer in our society in spite of many social issues?
I always believe that the world suffers a lot, not because of the violence of the bad people, but because of the silence of the good people. What can I communicate? What can I tell to the social issue of the Philippines nowadays as a LGBT? I will just mention, we have to communicate each and everything. Why do I say so? Ang Tagalog po, kailangan ho natin makipagkomunikasyon sa bawat isa dahil sa simpleng pakikipag-usap, meron ho tayong matututunan kung anong kadahilanan, kung bakit nagawa ng isang taong pagkakamali. Because I always believe in the saying, connection connects people, but communication understand people. Why do I say so? We have to communicate. LGBT people cannot do anything but to advise to communicate instead. Or should I say, I would pray to God. Why do I say so? Because in every situation nowadays, I am just a simple LGBT. I cannot tell it to whole world to resolve the social issue. But I will pray to God that no matter social issue that we are facing, I hope, God, you lend your heart to us. Help us to resolve this. Because I always believe that if you lost your way, turn back to God and come to our Almighty God. In short, like what Mother Teresa mentioned, you should not wash the dishes, not because it was dirty. You should wash the dishes for the benefit of the others. I would pray not for the benefits. I would pray to resolve the social issue in our country. That will just be my simple answer, because I always believe that answering a question is not about how long or how short your answer is. As long as you are targeted a what we call bullseye. Thank you.
Okay, so here's your paragraph. Okay. What are the effects of global pandemic to the lives of the Filipinos? How it is relevant to both sympathy and empathy? Again, what are the effects of global pandemic to the lives of the Filipinos? How it is relevant to both sympathy and empathy?
Okay, good morning ladies and gentlemen, good morning beautiful people, good morning panel of judges. How is it affected the country itself, the Philippines, and how is it connected to empathy and sympathy? Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate each and every individual watching right now, because you are alive, we are alive, and we had passed through the pandemic. That simply means that we love ourselves, we have took care of our health, and most of all, we have listened to the government. How does this affect each and every individual Filipino? I can never ever count on my fingers how it affects us so much. We have lots of debt. We have lost our jobs. Some had even, some business had closed. Even the country itself had closed. We can never ever see one single human being or one single Filipino walking on the street. It just simply means it affects us literally by living in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, how can we empathize and how we did empathy to one another? That is, we had started it with our own homes and family. Because most of us, I believe, are busy on an ordinary day that there is no pandemic. But because of that pandemic, we are all binded in one home, one family. We had empathized not with other Filipino, not with other neighbors, but rather, we had empathized through the hearts of our loving and missing family. Mga kaibigan, tayo po ay dumaan sa isang pandemyang akala natin na hindi natin matatapusan. Ngunit sa ngayon, nakita po natin kung gaano natin kayang labanan kahit ano pa mang dumating sa ating bayan. Kung tayo po ay may lakas ng loob, may tamang pandinig at tamang paggawa at pakikinig. Ladies and gentlemen, Philippines is a country with strong people, loving people, and most of all, God-fearing people. Therefore, no pandemic can ruin or make this country down. Thank you.